Hey, what's happening, everybody? Mike from Sanctified Rebellion here, coming at you with a real quick video to give you some updates on stuff that's going on and to chat a little bit about the Ohio Heartbeat Bill, which I wrote about earlier this week. So first and foremost, I am doing this as a recorded video rather than a Facebook live stream, and the reason I am doing that is because I am having all sorts of technical issues with doing the Facebook live stream. When I was doing them on my phone, the audio quality was not very good, and if I can't produce something that's high quality, I just don't want to do it. Secondly, I tried to do it on my laptop, my MacBook, and the software I was using caused the audio and video to get really badly out of sync, and that just really is like irritating me. So I decided to kind of go ahead and do things a little bit differently. So for a while, what I'm going to do is do a lot of these video updates recorded and just upload them directly to Facebook, and that way you can get those updates that way. And I am in the process of setting up my YouTube channel, and so a lot of this stuff I'm going to post up there, and then I'll share it over on the Sanctified Rebellion Facebook page and Twitter so that people can keep up with that. Which, if you're not following me on Twitter, by the way, it's at Sanct SANCT Rebel, and you can find me on there, follow me on there. I don't really do a whole lot with it, to be honest with you, except for post the same stuff that I post on my Facebook page, but some people prefer Twitter, so whatever's clever. I'm in the process of getting some new lighting going on. I got this light going on right here, kind of make the video a little more high quality, but I'm going to get some desk lamps and stuff and kind of start upping the quality here. One of the things I'm going to start doing with the YouTube channel is posting videos that deal more with theological topics and different pop culture stuff in those kind of videos, along with some of these updates. And weekly, I'm going to start doing a podcast, Sanctified Rebellion podcast. It's going to be short, 30-40 minutes max. For right now, it's just me. I eventually plan to get a co-host on there, maybe, or just interview people, as things come and go. And eventually plan to start working on those teaching series I'd mentioned in the other video, sharing what I'm learning and all that good stuff. So keep a lookout for that. That's going to be coming real soon. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Ohio Heartbeat Bill. Now, this is big news, okay? This is really, really big news. Ohio passed a bill that bans abortions after the heartbeat can be detected of an unborn child. So that means that, and usually this is sometimes, usually around the 22, I think it's a 22-day mark, or is it 22-week mark? Let me look at my notes here real quick. But anyway, this bill got passed, and it would really, really do a lot to help bring abortion to an end here in Ohio, at least, hopefully sparking a nationwide conversation that absolutely needs to happen on this topic. And I wrote a little piece this week about this whole situation with the heartbeat bill, and I'm very excited about the bill itself. I'm very excited about what it means for abortion and getting rid of that scourge. But at the same time, I wrote about not getting complacent. We as Christians and conservatives get real complacent real fast when it comes to the topic of abortion. We make a little progress, and then we get real happy with ourselves, and then we just kind of stall out. What we really should be pushing for is the end of abortion right now, as quickly as we can. Abortion should be criminalized. Those who participate in it should be given the death penalty. End of story. God's law requires the death penalty for the crime of murder. That's the breaking of the sixth commandment. So that's why it's just to go ahead and do that. The death penalty was instituted in Genesis 9:6, so it was before the Mosaic law, so that did not pass away with like the ceremonial law that was put away after Christ came, as it is fulfilled in him, and we keep it by having faith in him who fulfilled it for us, which is Jesus. So the death penalty is the only just recompense for the crime of murder, and abortion is most definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, murder. The reason why the death penalty is just is because God's justice system is built completely on restitution. So the idea of a thief who steals something, his punishment shouldn't be getting locked in prison. It should be paying back the value of what he stole, if not returning the item itself, and then plus some. You know, like I can't remember if it's 4 times or what it is, 4 times the amount that he stole. So if he can't return that, then he has to work off his debt. Something along that lines, it's restitution. Well, when it comes to a human being, what is worth the value of a human life but a human life? So one who takes away another human being's life has to then replace that person's life. They have to give that life back as part of the restitution. Well, obviously, only Jesus can raise people from the dead, so that is just simply not going to happen. They cannot give back the life they stole. Since that is the case, what they can do then is pay with their own lives, and that's exactly what they must do in order to truly pay for the crime that they committed. So anyway, all that to say that we need to be pushing for that, because that is the only way that true justice can be upheld. And we as Christians and conservatives should be all about justice and seeing justice carried out in a way that is equal for all, that all are held accountable to the law. And so I'm really excited because I feel like this can be a step towards that discussion. And if we can get this passed and signed into law, then that says that, you know, the cultural landscape is shifting somewhat. And so now would be the absolute perfect time to push bills that go the full distance and criminalize abortion and make it completely illegal. Now, one of the reasons that I'm holding out hope for this bill is because I believe it will stimulate a national conversation. I believe that at some point it will be challenged and that it will go before the Supreme Court. And my thinking is that if it goes before the Supreme Court, we have a chance to review Roe v. Wade. And if we can put enough pressure on people in government, perhaps we could see Roe v. Wade overturned. That's the ultimate goal. Right now, if we can't get a nationwide ban on abortion right now, I would at least like to overturn Roe v. Wade, get the federal government out of the way, and then work state by state on having it banned and abolished that way. Whatever it takes to get it done, let's get it done. And so that's why I say, you know, we can't stop now. Don't get happy with yourself because you accomplished a little something. Let's keep going. Let's finish what we started. So yes, it is. Looking at my notes here for the story on this bill, the Ohio State Senate today passed legislation that would ban all abortions after an unborn baby's heart begins to beat. An unborn child's heart begins to beat at 22 days after conception or earlier. So I mean that's pretty early in the is it gestation? Is that the word? I mean, that just sounds like something out of an alien movie. Anyway, that is pretty early in the gestation period. It's not early enough. It should be from the moment of conception, and that's what we need to push for. We've got our foot in the door here, so let's continue to push to get it all the way at the moment of conception. Now, having said that, I think that this is a great first start in really, truly tackling this issue, and I really hope that we continue to push and get this whole thing banned. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this bill wasn't to just rehash what I wrote already this week. You can go to the Sanctified Rebellion page and find that that article, and you can go ahead and look it up and read it and get more in depth of what I think about that particular situation in the biblical case for abolition and whatnot. But what I want to discuss here is I saw something online that really made me angry. Okay? There is a, and this is going to be mind-blowing to some of you. There is a group online called Abolish Human Abortion. They are made up of Christians who are very passionate about the abortion issue, and for that I applaud them. I absolutely think it's wonderful that these people are so passionate about wanting to protect the unborn, and that's the kind of passion that we all should have. And I hope and pray that God would give us a heart for the unborn in the same way that these individuals have that heart. But this group, Abolish Human Abortion, they are completely for the abolition of abortion, hence their name. So they push for wanting to get a complete ban. They don't like incrementalism, which is taking like bills like this heartbeat bill and then like taking it a step at a time to try to get rid of abortion. And they have some valid arguments for taking that position. So I'm not here to attack them on their position. I agree with a lot of what they say in that regards and their take on how we need to criminalize abortion, how we need to abolish it and get rid of it. It's a scourge and blight on humanity. It's embarrassing that our nation has allowed such a travesty to go on for so long. So I agree with them on all those things. However, what I don't agree with is how they handle other believers. Not a big fan. The way they seem to carry themselves is they basically condemn any church or any Christian who isn't always constantly out on the front lines, pouring out blood, sweat, and tears for the cause of abortion, for anybody who's not doing things exactly the way they think it should be done. And that's only one part of it. They're quite vicious towards people in that regard. And I understand why, to a degree, because there is so much apathy in the church today. Christians don't want to get involved in the actual dirty work of dominion, meaning they don't want to subdue the earth the way that they are called to, because it requires effort and it's uncomfortable. And so we get inside our Christian cultures and our Christian bubbles. We focus all on ourselves and on our own growth, and we don't really focus on taking the gospel and applying it to every area of life. All right, so I get why they're frustrated with Christians, and I think it's valid. However, the way they go about trying to bring people to see the truth and to get more active is atrocious. They attack people. They're very vicious in that way. They discourage any kind of effort that's not an absolute 100% ban. And I just think that that's wrong. I think it's the wrong way to approach things. It doesn't matter if your point is valid if you throw out that argument by acting like a jerk. That's just not going to work, okay? Secondly, the problem I have with this group is the fact that it seems like they do not understand true biblical ecclesiology. A lot of these folks are not plugged into a local church the way that they should be, and a lot of the reason for that seems to be related to the abortion issue. Now, I believe the abortion issue is critical. It is critical for our nation, for our faith, for our witness as Christians, all of that. However, that is not an excuse for not being plugged into a local church, submitting yourself to elders and leaders who are biblically sound, who can help shepherd your soul. If you really want to affect change, work from within the system to affect change. Don't insult all these churches just because they're not doing things exactly the way you would do them. Go out and try to convince them of that by joining arms with them, by submitting to their leadership, and doing as God commands. A lot of these people meet in home churches and groups and stuff, and I have nothing against that kind of a thing, but there should be a leader, an elder, biblically qualified, leading a church organization of some sort. Doesn't necessarily have to be part of a denomination or whatever, but there should be some type of leadership structure going on there, and there needs to be submission on behalf of those who attend to that leader's leadership or plurality of elders. So I have a problem with that. I just really don't like their tactics. I just don't. I really love what they do outside of abortion mills. I really love how they are passionate about this, and they are spot on about needing to abolish this. But the way they treat fellow believers is a no-no. I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. And that's why, me personally, I will not support that group or back that group, given that and some of the little bit out there theology. I just won't go there. I hope that they make some changes to the group. And if they do that, then I would feel more comfortable supporting them. But until then, I support the mission, but I can't support that group individually. And that's just something that was really bothering me, seeing these people attack fellow believers in that way, when we should all be working together to end abortion any way we can. All right, guys, that's all I've got for this video. I'm just going to upload this sucker raw. There's no editing and all that good stuff. Not this time around, but you can look forward to that as I get more organized with content and keep things rolling in that way. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.